everyone, today we're going to look at Inana SP. She's sort of taking over from Gloria, leading us into a new metagame. She's a very powerful unit that's really worth investing a lot into, and she's just going to make your entire team better. She's going to buff your units, really amplify your team. She herself will also be doing a lot of magical AoE damage, but she doesn't just do magical damage, she also does physical damage, which gives her a lot of versatility as well. One thing about Inanna that really ties into her personality as sort of a princess and we fight together, stick together, is her playing style really requires you to keep your units close together, close around her, to maximize the benefits she gives to the team. So just like the base Inanna, she's also a watcher. She keeps that same class. She's part of 3 factions. Her factions are very important for her and for her teammates. We'll see more of that later. She's part of Iria. Iria has a lot of units in it. Sword of Convallaria as well, and Fortitude. This Inanna is a 3-star Inanna, and before 3 stars, Inanna is not that great, but she really comes online at 3 stars. As well as 5 stars, she makes another big leap there. So she uses her physical attack, which is going to be converted into magical attack, but also she has some physical attack skills as well. She has quite a high magic attack as well, and she does use some of this for some things. For Inanna's equipment, so for her weapon, I think a signature weapon is obviously going to be best for her. It's going to increase her magical AoE damage by 10%. And then if she casts a skill on an ally, it's going to further increase magic AoE by another 10%, if I'm reading this correctly. The second increase is only going to last for 2 turns though, but she does get that flat increase in magical AoE. If we see how it ranks up at 2 stars, at 2 stars it's going to give her that flat increase in AoE damage of 10%, but this skill will go up to rank 2. So after casting a skill on an ally, it's going to increase magic AoE damage by 15%. Rank 3, AoE damage goes up to 15%, plus she gets attack up 1, which increases attack by 10%. At 4, this goes to level 3, which is going to increase magic AoE by 20%. And rank 5, she gets 20% increase in AoE, it's flat increase. And she's going to get attack up by 2. So really great signature weapon. It's good for her magical AoE damage. So an alternative weapon for her would be Sophia SP's signature weapon. That one also, after casting skills on allies, is going to give you further benefits, which is good for her. I also like the newborn blade. You can't really go wrong with that much. For trinkets, I think the Shield of Justice is very good for her. It's just straightforward, increasing those attack and defense stats and giving that shield. The Blood Luxite Amulet is also going to be good for her, increasing magic AoE damage and magic, but she wants to use physical attack. So yeah, but the magical AoE increase would be nice. I'm running this Hourglass for now, just to give her that increase in attack. And then those immunities as well. And for Tarot, I love the Dream of the Magician, increasing that AoE damage for her. Okay, so next let's check her trait and skills, and then we will see how all of that works together in an actual fight. So she possesses this thing called Free Will, and it can be stacked up to 12 layers. Her movement is increased by 1 tile. At the start of the battle, she gains 6 layers of free will. At the end of her turn, she gains 2 layers of free will. Possesses the additional skill Free Summoning. I'll refer to this as Freedom. So this additional skill she comes with, it doesn't take a skill slot from her. And in order for her to use this, she has to consume 8 stacks of her free will, as well as 2 energy points. So what is this Freedom skill she has? Well, it's an instant, a single target healing. She'll heal the target for 30% of her physical attack value and give that unit something called Freedom Posture or Freedom Stance. So what is this? This just gives them another action. So she will heal that unit for 30% of her physical attack and give them another action. And this can be triggered at most once per turn. So the difference between this new Inanna and the older Inanna is, the older Inanna uses Princess Prayer, which allows the unit to act immediately after Inanna's turn, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas this one is not going to change the order of the unit's turn. It's just whenever that unit has their turn, they'll get an extra action from this freedom posture. So at rank 2, she gets a nice flat increase in attack and defense by 10%. She still only gets 1 extra movement. At the start of the battle, she gains 8 layers of, or 8 stacks of free will instead of 6 stacks. So this will allow her to use her additional skill on her first turn because it costs 8 stacks of free will. At the end of a turn, she gets 2 layers, that stays the same. And it costs 2 energy points to use the skill. Nothing changes here. So at rank 2, she just gets that flat increase by 10% in attack and defense, and she gains 8 layers of, or 8 stacks of free will. So at rank 3 is really where she comes online. So up until rank 3, she's kind of underwhelming. She's not that good actually at rank 1 and rank 2. But at rank 3 is really where you want to push her. She really comes online here, makes a massive jump. So increase attack and defense by 15%. Her movement is increased to 2 tiles. Also at rank 3, the free summoning skill she has, or the freedom skill, no longer costs her 2 energy, which is very huge for her. And so the effect also increases. Single target healing amount is increased to 90% instead of 30% at rank 1 and rank 2. 90% of a physical attack value, and gives the unit freedom stance 1, which is basically giving them another action. Additionally, she's going to give that unit damage up 2 and damage immunity 2 for 2 turns. So there's a massive increase at rank 3. She gets a extra 5% there, extra movement, and her free summoning skill no longer costs 2 energy, as well as the healing is increased to 90%. Plus, in addition to another action, she gives the ally or herself. By the way, she can use this skill on herself. They're also going to get damage 2 and damage reduction 2 for 2 turns. So big jump at rank 3. So then at rank 4, we just get another 5% increase to attack and defense, up to 20% there. At the end of her turn, she's going to gain 3 layers instead of 2 layers. She gains 3 layers of free will. And then when she casts this freedom on an ally, it's going to give them not freedom 1. Sorry for this rough translation. Not freedom 1, but freedom 2. So this will give them an action as well as 2 energy points. There's not a big jump at rank 4. So at rank 5, she makes another leap. Just increases attack and defense by an extra 5% again. Nothing else changes here. Same as rank 4. Except for this last sentence. If she casts this freedom skill on an ally, she will also gain all of the above effects. So that means Inanna will also get freedom 2, which will allow her to act again as well and recover 2 energy points. She will also get damage up 2, damage reduction 2 for 2 turns. So really at rank 5, you don't want to be casting freedom on Inanna. You want to cast it on an ally, so the ally gets all of these benefits, but then Inanna will also get the benefits as well. So between 2 units, you're having like 4 actions being performed. It feels like you have more units, and you can really see why Inanna is considered on another level now, at rank 5 especially. Okay, so let's jump into these skills. Okay, so the initial skill she comes with is healing from a blow. It's just a physical attack that does damage, and then it's going to heal allies within 3 tiles of Inanna for 40% of her physical attack value. At rank 1, we have Sword of Convallaria Light. It's a support skill. You gain 2 stacks of free will. All allies within 3 tiles of you gain attack up 2 and move up 2. Lasting for 2 turns. It also restores 1 energy point. So reminds me a lot of Gloria's Brilliance skill. It's a nice support skill there, 2 energy, 2 turn cooldown. But really you want to go for the one on the left, which is Sword of Convallaria Sword skills. So it's a decision skill, and you can choose between I'm just going to refer to them as the first skill and the second skill. So the first skill is going to be a 100% of your physical attack is going to be converted into magical attack to enemies in a 3x3 area, and you gain damage reduction 2 for 2 turns. If the skill hits only one enemy, the damage is increased to 150%. So a nice magic AoE attack. It's actually surprisingly got a lot of range. Also gives a damage reduction 2, and if you use it on one enemy, it's going to increase the damage to 150%. So it can be used both as an AoE on multiple enemies as well as a single target attack, like on bosses for example. So really nice magic AoE here. And then the second skill, Blooming in the Wind, is going to deal 150% damage to all enemies within 3 tiles in front of Inanna. So it doesn't have that 3x3 range, it's just the 3 enemies in front of Inanna, so short range, but it's going to deal 150% to all of these enemies. And this will be, as far as I know, this will be physical attack. So it gives a nice versatility to choose between physical damage or magical damage. If she's attacking an enemy with magic shields, for example, you can use this skill to bypass that magical shield and deal damage straight to them. If she's attacking enemies with a physical shield, she can use the first skill to do magic attack and bypass the physical shields. Also, it's going to knock them back 1 tile, and after attacking you also gain damage reduction 2 for 2 turns. It costs 2 energy and it doesn't have any cooldown, so you can spam this turn after turn. Really awesome skill. Then at rank 3 we have a Helping Hand passive. After an active attack, heal the ally with the lowest HP on the field for 40% of your physical attack and magic attack. So she uses again some of her magic attack there. And this can be quite a lot of healing on that ally. It's going to be a big amount. But a nice healing passive there. But I really like Brilliant Brilliance. Funny translation on the left here. It's an aura, reduces the attack and defense of all enemies within 5 tiles of Inanna by 10%. So similar to Gloria's one. I think Gloria's one only does attack. This one does attack and defense reduction on the enemies within 3 tiles of her. So really nice aura. It won't stack with other people's auras like Magnus or Gloria's auras. Whichever one is higher will be used. Then at rank 5 for her reaction skills, we have Battle Therapy on the right here. When actively attacked, damage received is reduced by 8%. After being actively attacked, heal the ally with the lowest HP percentage within 2 tiles of Inanna for a healing amount of 100% of magic defense value. So I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't like that the ally has to be within 2 tiles of her to receive the healing. But yeah, that's Battle Therapy. The one on the left is much better. Born with Swordsmanship. Before being attacked by an active unit, preemptively attack the unit and cause 100% of her physical attack as magic damage. Can be triggered once per turn at most. When Inanna is defeated, if she has 6 or more layers of free will, consume 6 layers and trigger Strong and Unyielding, which will allow Inanna to re-enter the battlefield after she's defeated, recover 35% of her HP, and cannot be dispelled. Plus, after she re-enters the battlefield after going down, she will get this 90% damage in reduction for 1 turn. So very powerful reaction skill here. Attacking enemies before they attack her, often killing them a lot of the time. And if she has 6 or more layers of free will and she dies, then she can be revived. And not only that, she'll take 90% less damage, at least for 1 turn after being revived. It's a really good one. Also important to note, she does have another reaction skill that she's going to inherit from the original Inanna. So I don't have the original Inanna on this account, so I cannot get that skill, but I did get translation of that other reaction skill. A battled hardened fighter is reaction within 5 tiles of yourself. Every time a character, this can be an ally or an enemy, releases a non-instant skill, you will gain 1 layer of battlefield experience. So that's 1 buff. When the number of layers reaches the upper limit, you will gain an additional attack command. So there's these 2 buffs she will gain. Oh, and after releasing a non-instant skill, you will gain 1 layer of free will. So this reaction will also allow her to increase her free will. But let me just get into this battlefield experience and attack command. So this battlefield experience, it's going to increase attack by 2% and reduce damage by 2%. Just ignore that. Stacking up to 15 layers. Cannot be dispelled or immunized. So every time an enemy or an ally, I think herself as well, I'm not sure about that, uses a non-instant skill, it's going to give you 1 stack, which can go up to a maximum of 15 stacks. And so that will be 15 times 2%, so you can get like a 30% increase in attack and a 30% damage reduction. And when she reaches that 15, the maximum, which they refer to as the upper limit over here, when she reaches that, it's going to give her additional attack command. So attack command is over here, which is another aura which increases the physical attack and magic attack of all other allies within 2 tiles of Inanna by 12%. So this is a really powerful reaction. It's going to give her that battlefield experience. So basically it's almost like the longer the battle goes on, she's getting battlefield experience and she's getting stronger in her attack and her defense. But then when she reaches that maximum 15 stacks of battle experience, she gains another aura which she can help for her allies, which makes her allies' attack go up by an additional 12% if they are within 2 tiles around her. So yeah, she really loves to group up with her units and fight together, and when everyone's grouped up, that's when she really benefits your team the most. Yeah, so again, I don't have Inanna, I cannot use that skill, I can't test it, but both this reaction skill, Born with Swordsmanship, and the other one that she gets from Inanna, they're both very powerful. I haven't tested it, so I can't tell which one is better, but I do love this one as well. I love that she gets that preemptive attack on the enemy, and that she can revive if she dies, and yeah, I really like this one as well. But the other one will help her to ramp up and get stronger as the battle goes on, as well as it will benefit all her other allies as well. So moving on to rank 7, we have Sword of Guardian of Sword of Convallaria. So this is a passive. If there are 2 or more friendly units within 2 tiles of Inanna, Inanna's damage is reduced by 20% and her attack is increased by 20%. Again, she likes to be grouped up with her allies. After causing physical damage, convert 2 of the enemy's buffs into random level 2 debuffs, which is one of the following debuffs: attack down, crit hit down, physical defense down, magic defense, or no healing, which lasts for 2 turns. Also, when knocking back a target, the knockback distance increases by 1 tile. So this is the one I would recommend. It's really good. It's just going to benefit Inanna. If she has units around her, they're going to help her get this extra 20% in attack and defense. Also, if she's using one of her physical attacks on the enemies, it's going to convert their buffs into debuffs. And I love this extra knockback distance you get. Whenever she does a knockback, she will do an extra tile knockback. So the skill on the right, so let us work together. When the turn starts, if there are 2 or more friendly allies within 2 tiles of, I think, Inanna, all friendly troops within the range will gain co-attack and co-defense for 2 turns. So this is really a really nice passive. It's like, reminds me of Sophia SP. So when your units are together or are around Inanna, they're going to get that co-attack and co-defense, which is really great. But at her rank 11, she will automatically be doing a co-attack and a co-defense anyway, so that's why I would skip this skill and take the one on the left, because this will basically become obsolete rank 11. So for her basic skills at rank 9, she has a sword skill Dawn, normal attack, hit the designated target causing magic area damage equal to 100% of physical attack value. And it's not showing here, but it's got a good range on this attack, and this is the one I went for, which is going to deal magic damage. But I just love the extra range that she gets on a basic attack. And then on the right we have a sword skill Dusk. So we have Dawn, we have Dusk, and on Dusk it's a normal attack. Attacks the designated target, causing 110% physical area damage and knocking them back 1 tile. So the one on the left does magic damage, magic area damage. This one does physical area damage. Plus it's going to give you a knockback, but the range is just 1 tile. And I'll show you later you get quite a lot of range from the one on the left. So you can choose magic damage or physical damage. So finally at rank 11, on the right side we have under the banner of Sword of Convallaria. So it's a leadership aura. All allies in area or Sword of Convallaria get attack increased by 10%, defense increased by 20%, and for each area or Sword of Convallaria unit on the field, damage caused increases by 3% and damage received is reduced by 3% up to a maximum of 15%. So the more units you have from either one of these factions, the more it's going to increase your damage and defense. Up to a maximum of 15%. So a nice leadership aura, but I definitely skipped this one because this one also becomes redundant because of the skill on the left. Just like her passive skill becomes redundant, this let us work together, which gives you co-attack and co-defense. This aura also becomes kind of obsolete because of this skill on the left, which I'll show you now. So the translation is not great, but basically the skill on the left. So this is a support, it's an instant support. So you summon a battle flag, Sword of Convallaria battle flag, and all friendly troops within 5 tiles of the flag will gain co-attack and co-defense for 2 turns. So there you have that passive, which is at rank 7. It's included in this anyway, more or less. I know the passive is always permanent, but you do get it here as well. And after being released, the skill switches to for this peaceful world. So you summon this flag, it's automatically going to give units within 5 tiles of the flag co-attack and co-defense. It's also going to give you this Sword of Convallaria battle flag. So it's going to inspire friendly forces, increase attack by 10% and defense by 20% for all area and Sword of Convallaria units. So if you have any units from those factions, they're also going to get this extra 10% in attack and 20% in defense bonus. And then it's going to increase damage dealt by 3% and reduce damage by 3% for each area or Sword of Convallaria unit on the field. So it's doing the same effect that you get from this leadership aura, which increases attack by 10%, defense by 20%, and then up to 15% extra damage over there. It's doing the same effect off of this flag that you summon. It's going to give you that aura anyway. So that's why I would skip the one on the right and go for this skill. It just includes everything basically. And I know it depends, it obviously depends on the flag being on the field, but it's actually very easy to keep the flag on the field almost all the time. And then also after you use this, after you summon this flag, it's going to switch the skill to for this peaceful world, which causes magical range damage equal to 130% of the target's physical attack value and enemies within 2 squares of the target. It dispels 5 buffs on the target before attacking. If the skill hits only one enemy, the skill multiplier increases to 180%. And then after releasing the skill, it switches back to the the original flag skill. So again, this one is another AoE attack which does nice AoE damage, but also you can use it as a single target attack, because if you use it on only one enemy like a boss, it increases to 180% damage. So you can really see how powerful Inanna is with her versatility in her kit. Okay, so let's go into a battle and then we just see how all of this plays together. Okay, so for her skills, we'll be using this basic attack, which is like a ranged attack. You can see the range is very nice over there. It does 100% physical attack as magic damage. For her reaction, we have the preempt strike back at the enemy. And if she has 6 layers of free will and she dies, she will be revived and gaining 90% damage reduction for 1 turn. And then we're running this passive, which if there are 2 allies within 2 tiles around Inanna, she gets damage up by 20% and damage reduction by 20%. If she does a physical attack on the enemy, it's going to turn 2 of their buffs into debuffs, as well as increase her knockback distance by 1 tile. And then we have the decision skill over here, which is the first skill is the magical AoE damage that she's going to do. And then the second one is going to be the physical AoE damage that she does. And then I'm running the rank 11 flag that she summons, which gives units co-attack and co-defense. And if it's units from Sword of Convallaria or Iria, then they're going to get extra buffs as well. Okay, let's just take a look at Inanna, see what's going on here. All she has is 8 stacks of free will, and remember it stacks up to a maximum of 12 stacks. Here is the free skill she comes with. This is going to cost 8 of her free will. She has exactly 8 free will, so she can cast this skill now. It's an instant. She can cast it on anyone as well as herself, and that will give them the freedom stance, which will allow them to act again. It will give them that damage up 2 and then the damage reduction 2 as well. So important to note, this is a 3-star Inanna, so she can use the skill at no energy cost. At star 1 and star 2 this will cost 2 energy. But because she's at 3 stars, it costs no energy. She can cast this skill. Let's cast this on Edda. And then she still has her 3 energies, so she could, for example, summon a flag, which is also an instant. And then she still has her action, so she could act again. You can really see how she sets up the whole team. Also quickly just show you her basic attack. You see the range is very nice. Gives you nice range. She can even hit that enemy at the back over there. So let's just take a look at Edda, see what's happened to Edda now. So Edda has now, she's got the damage up by 20%, damage reduction by 20%, and she's got the freedom stance, which will allow her to act again. So just like I mentioned earlier, different from the base Inanna, Edda's not going to act immediately after this Inanna's turn. Edda will just act within her own turn, but she will have 2 actions. So if I move Edda forward now, she can attack once. And she's got another action, she can move and attack again. Okay, so that's how freedom works. I'm just going to backtrack. Okay, next we're gonna take a look at the flag over here. So we're going to summon this flag, and you can see it's got incredible range. It's very easy to get all your allies within the flag. It's best to put it in a defensive, a safe position, so the enemy doesn't destroy it. On its own, the flag will last for 3 turns, and during those 3 turns the cooldown will be coming down in the background, so by the time the flag disappears you can basically summon another flag. So it's very easy to keep the flag active most of the time. So what I'm going to do here, just to show you the effects of the flag, I'm going to just summon the flag over here, just missing her away. I'm just doing this on purpose, just to show you what buffs people get. Okay, so I summoned the flag. We're going to take a look at Estra. So Estra's got co-attack and she's got co-defense. That's all she's got from this flag. Because she was within 5 tiles of the flag, she got that. If we look at Inanna, so Inanna also has co-attack, co-defense. Inanna also has this buff. This buff is coming from a signature weapon. Because she casts a skill on allies, she's going to increase magic AoE by 10%. Let's just ignore this for now. But the flag has given Inanna this co-attack, co-defense, as well as these 2 buffs at the bottom. It's given her that Iria / Sword of Convallaria aura, which increases her attack and reduces the damage she takes by 3% for each Iria or Sword of Convallaria unit on the battlefield. So if you have, for example, 5 of these units, let's say for example you have 2 units from Sword of Convallaria and 3 units from Iria, then you will have 5 units times by 3% and you'll reach that maximum 15% increase in damage and reduction in damage. And then they also get this other aura, which for the Sword of Convallaria or Iria units, you're going to increase their damage by 10% and increase defense by 20%. So 2 very similar auras, and these both work together. So this is what Inanna's got, because Inanna is part of Iria. She's also part of Sword of Convallaria. Let's see what happened to Edda. Eda's got co-attack, co-defense, and she also has those two auras. The one for Iria / Sword of Convallaria for each unit, increase their stats, as well as this flat 10% attack and 20% defense. So she's got that. How about Rowea? So she wasn't within the range of the flag. Okay, so for Rowea, she's got the Sword of Convallaria / Iria aura as well as the other aura. But she doesn't get co-attack and co-defense because she wasn't within the range of the flag when I cast it. But just so that you understand that the flag, you don't have to be close to the flag for these Iria and Sword of Convallaria units to get this aura. It's like a global effect. So no matter where they are, as far as I know, if you're from those camps, you're gonna get that buffs as long as there's a flag. You don't have to be within 5 tiles. It's just the co-attack and co-defense that require you to be within 5 tiles. And that co-attack and co-defense is activated immediately once you've put down the flag. So, for example, if I move Rowea on a next turn close to the flag, she still won't get that co-attack and co-defense. Okay, so now that we've put down the flag, that skill switches to For This World of Peace, or For a Peaceful World, which is a magical AoE attack that hits everyone for 130% damage, removes 5 buffs before attacking. If you're attacking one unit like a boss, this damage will increase to 180%. And once you've cast this, it will switch back to the flag. So like I said before, usually by the time the flag expires, the cooldown will be going down in the background, and then you'll probably be able to summon another flag by the time this one goes. But really powerful AoE attack. The damage is also being increased by her signature weapon, which increases AoE damage as well. Okay, so you can see that there. Let me just go back now. So next I want to show you the decision skill, skill 1 and skill 2. So the first one is going to do magic AoE damage. It's going to do 100% damage. If you attack one unit, it will do 150% damage. So similar to her ultimate skill, both of them can be used for an AoE damage or for single target damage. Also, once she uses this, she gets damage reduction too. So you can see the range is very generous on this skill. It reminds me a lot of Karis's AoE skill as well. Okay, and then for the second one, it's also AoE, but you can see the range is much less. 3 tiles, but this one is going to deal 150% damage to all enemies. And it's going to give you damage reduction 2 as well, and also knock back the enemy by 1 tile. But because this Inanna, because she's running this passive, so remember this passive she has increases the knockback distance by 1 tile, so she's going to knock back enemies by 2 tiles. Also important to note about this passive, it's very confusing because if she has 2 allies within 2 tiles of her, she's going to get damage up by 20% and damage reduced by 20%. But this is not listed under her stats. So that makes it very confusing. It makes you forget that she even has that benefits from the passive. But it never lists under these stats over here. As far as I know, I maybe, yeah. So if I use the second skill over here, you can see she can knock back these 2 guys over there. If I use it on this guy, he's not going to knock back just 1 tile, he'll knock back 2 tiles over there because of her passive. So there he went back 2 tiles over to that tile over there instead of over there. Okay, next I just want to show you how she performs as a team when everyone's grouped up together, just to show you how important it is for her, and it's kind of her playing style. So I've got a number of units here that I think they're all from Iria or Sword of Convallaria. I think Rowea SP as well as Kavari are from Iria. It's just Shakururu that's not from one of these factions. But let me just group everyone together over here. I'm gonna lay the flag at the back here, just protect the flag. Okay, so now we have everyone surrounding Inanna. So for her passive skill, we know that if there are 2 allies within 2 tiles of her, she's going to get increase of damage by 20% and damage reduction by 20%. So she does benefit from having units around her. Also, obviously she has the flag summoned, which is going to give everyone co-attack and co-defense. So we want to get that maximum 15%, having enough units to get that maximum 15% in attack. So she's maximizing that with units around her. And then also for the Sword of Convallaria / Iria aura, for every unit it's going to increase these stats by 3%. So we're reaching the maximum 15% because we have 5 units from those factions. See, Bakal's, Sword of Convallaria, everyone's got this buffs from the faction buffs as well as co-attacks. As well as Rauia, yeah, she's also part of that faction. It's just Shakururu that doesn't have it because she's not part of Sword of Convallaria or Iria. So now Inanna's really getting the most benefits for herself. So having teammates around Inanna is going to make her stronger, and everyone being together is also going to give them some buffs, but especially Inanna is going to improve. And then we have that reaction skill that she inherits from the base Inanna as well, which is further going to increase the benefits of units grouping up together. Okay, so let's just see what does her ultimate do. So her ultimate is going to do like 10,500 damage, 10,400 damage to these pigs over there. And if I move Inanna, if I move her in an isolated position away from her units, it's only going to do 8,300 damage to the pigs. They're not even killing that one over there. So you can see how her damage is reduced when she's not close to her allies. And also she's going to be taking more damage as well. So really this is her playing style. You want to stick together. And if I cast, let's just cast Freedom on herself there. We got 11,600 damage over there. Okay, and finally, just to tie everything together, we're just going to do a boss fight. I'm just going to give extra energy over here. Let's speed up extra. Damage reduction, sorry, vulnerability on the enemy there. So again, Kavare is also part of the Iria faction, so he works well with Inanna as well. So just to recap, Inanna is 3 stars, so she can use this at no energy cost. I'll put that on Estra. Then I'll just move her forward here. I'll put the flag over right over there. Okay, so you've got co-attack, co-defense for Estra. So she's going to do 13,600 damage on the boss. Okay, so Rauia SP not doing that much damage. Okay, now let's see how much damage Estra does as well. So Estra's been really boosted by Inanna. She's got co-attack, co-defense, and then she's got the freedom stance, which will allow her to act again, and also it's increased attack by 20%. Unfortunately, she's not part of one of Inanna's factions, so she's not going to get that extra damage there. I'll just max out her shields. Let's see, 26,700 damage. And then she can act again because of Inanna, even after using her ultimate skill, and then get another 15k. Okay, and then I'll use Edda over here to put some wine on the boss. That's going to increase the magic damage he's going to take. Then I will buff these guys. Okay, so let's just see how much damage Inanna will do after the wine was put down as well. I'll use a magical AoE attack. And it does 22,783 damage. And that's really a lot. If you consider Estra's damage. She's competing now with Estra as well. Remember, this is going to increase from 100% to 150% because it's only one unit. And if this was our ultimate skill, I can't even see the numbers now. It's going to be even higher. It's going to do that 180%. So big damage that she can do on bosses as well. And if we look at the physical AoE skill over here, this one is only doing 14,000 damage, obviously, because of the wine. The magical attack's increasing. So Inanna really has a lot going on in a kit. I know this was quite a lot of information, but it is straightforward information. Luckily, she is quite a straightforward unit. It's just a lot of information and things. And then obviously she's such a team player, so it's not just her. You have to consider how is she buffing the allies around her and where are they positioned around her and what factions are they from, and allowing units to act again. And at 5 stars, we would cast this freedom on Estra, and Estra would act twice, but then at 5 stars, Inanna would also get all those benefits as well. So she would also be able to act twice. So again, it's almost like you have more units. 2 units doing like 4 actions in one turn. So now you can really see why she's kind of the pivot of the whole team. Really a flagship character for the game itself, for this metagame. And I know this was a lot of information. I may have missed some things, may have gotten some things wrong. If I did, please let us know in the comments. And yeah, that's Inana SP. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.